December 4th, workout breakdown, arm day. Good arm day, man. I'm excited about this day. There's some workouts that, like, obviously you guys know that I write these, but some of them I'm just way more excited about than others. And this is one of them. I can't really express as to why I think the VO2 Max stuff in this one is fantastic. I was about to curse there. But it's awesome, and I think the transition, the stuff we transition into is really cool too, and it just fits really well together. And when workouts flow really well and they feel right, there's just another level of excitement for me, as weird as that is. So, biking intervals right here. This is aggressive, all right? So again, obviously the VO2 Max training is what we're working on this month. Hopefully you guys saw the video from December 1st here. This is a lot different than that. So the December 1st video with the running, where you guys were 1 minute on, 1 minute active recovery, we are ramping it up here quite dramatically, actually. And I put it first, which obviously changes and alters how the structure of the programming is going to go, and I'll explain that here in a second. But I wanted you guys to do this super fresh. I wanted to kind of rip the Band-Aid off, and let's just knock it out as soon as class starts, and hopefully we get the best results with this approach. So 10 to 15 rounds. I gave a lot of flexibility right there. Like, that is a large, that's a 30% difference if you choose to do 10 over 15 or vice versa. So you can fall anywhere in there. Honestly, you should be doing it based off of your output. I know a lot of people, I already know, like, so many people are just going to see 15 and just going to do 15. Like, it doesn't even matter what's happening on the monitor or how they're physically performing. We're just going to do 15. And these are the types of things I really want to continue to educate our entire membership base on, is just precision and a wherewithal or a self-awareness of, at some point it's just diminished returns. And you can typically tell that. Like, most of you guys know when that's happening. It's just a matter of like, hey, it says it on the board. Because the board says it, I have to do it. And that's just not the case. So that is why there's flexibility here in the 10 to 15 rounds. 20 seconds at max, just to reiterate, 20 seconds at max in any situation is based off of what's around it, right? Max is open-ended. It's as aggressive as you can be, whether it's weighted or not, given the circumstances. So these circumstances are, you can go all the way up to 15 rounds of this. Remember, VO2 Max training is very repeatable, sustainable output, like force. Like, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for consistency with each passing round, not just this crazy climax for the first 2 rounds, and then just wild dip for a round or two, and then right back up. Like, that's not what we're aiming for. We're trying to train our body to be repeatable and understand what's coming and be able to handle that output time after time, which eventually will slowly raise not just our floor, but also our ceiling when we get more specific on just high intensity, which this is kind of what that is, but it's the first time we're doing it on the bike this month, so I don't expect like the greatest results, because I'm not sure how many people really know what they're capable of in this environment. So hypothetically speaking, I always use myself. I know my numbers real well, but again, all hypotheticals. Don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt here. But if we do 20-second max, and I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna aim for 15 rounds because I've done this for years. I'm gonna aim for 85 RPMs. Like, I'm just going to try for 85. Like, let's see how this goes, right? I also don't know what I can do for 10 plus rounds, right? I haven't done VO2 Max specific training in quite some time. Like, we do stuff all the time, so I'm going off of my knowledge of myself based off of all the biking that we do. And now that we're getting specific, I'm about to find out. So let's just say I can hold 85. That's my goal. I'm going to try to hold 85 for a full 20 seconds. Obviously a 40-second rest, and we're just going to keep ripping these rounds out over and over and over again. I don't care how far I'm going. I don't care about the distance or the calories. I simply care about my RPM and my perceived exertion. If I think that my 70, 75, maybe at max output is sustainable, then that's what I'm going to try to hold round after round. So again, that 70% is a good foundation for people to think about when we're in VO2 Max month, is constantly trying to figure out your 70% on each piece of equipment. So I'm going to try to hit that, maybe slightly above, because I feel like maybe the bike is one of my strengths relative to other pieces of equipment. And then I'm just going to see, really, like, I know for a fact I can hold 85, right? Like, let's just get that out of the way. Like, I can hold 85. What I don't know is how many rounds is it going to take where that no longer becomes easy, right? Like, is it 4? Is it 8? Like, I do think I could do 10. Like, am I like basically crawling at round 10, or can I get to 12 or 13? Like, I don't know. So I'm going to, right along with you guys, going to be trying to figure this out, as, again, like I said, I have not done it in quite some time. Now, us doing the VO2 max, the biking, the aerobic stuff first does change the programming in terms of the lifts. So again, hopefully you guys have a better understanding of, especially those that watch the video, like, after we do something this aggressive that takes 15 minutes plus because we have to recover, sitting down and doing stationary hypertrophy, your typical 8 to 12 reps with as much weight as we can move, just physiologically isn't as effective, especially, as much energy as we're able to burn through on these really aggressive bike rounds. So we had to find a way to still get the appropriate volume with, enough, I guess the volume and sets go hand in hand, but an opportunity for you guys to still move a decent amount of weight if you wanted to. So I wanted to find ways to leave that door open, and that's kind of what we did here, which is why I'm excited, because I like these kind of open-ended types of approaches. So you guys will get off the bike. Honestly, if you really want to challenge yourself, you're watching this video, the faster you get to those tricep extensions, the better, right? Like, why not work on the transition? You have nothing to lose. Now, again, I don't know how crippled you're going to be from the bike, but the quicker you can turn over and get into those tricep extensions and make it a point to do so, the more benefit it's going to hold from a transitional perspective. And of course, works hand in hand with VO2 max month and capacity. But the tricep extension is 100 reps. So you got 10-minute caps. So you have to clock your 10 minutes. Make sure whenever you do that first rep, you know exactly when the 10 minutes is over. And then something that I like to do on open-ended workouts like these with 100 reps is I like to start probably a weight class higher than normal and just see how far I can get. Like, can I keep, if I do the 20 reps of the first time, like, how long can I go until all of a sudden, like, the lactic is just so built up, my triceps are still so shot that I have to drop my weight, rather than just grabbing something really light and ripping out massive amounts of reps in small sets, or I guess large sets, but only doing a couple of sets with the lighter weight opposed, to doing, a couple extra sets with heavier weights because I had to keep taking breaks. So I will definitely be trying to push weight here and just kind of like drop setting my weights as I hit walls of failure and thresholds. When I can't do more than like 7 or 8 reps, I'll probably start going down in weight. But I'll keep those transitions really quick. It's a 10-minute cap. You're kind of racing against the clock, sort of, although 10 minutes is a lot of time for this. I'll try to keep those recoveries like 30, 40 seconds at most between my sets, and then just keep going. And once I hit a wall, just put the weight down, grab something lighter, and take off. You guys will then have the remainder of that 30 minutes, which I'm thinking in my head right now for anybody watching this, it's not a lot of time. If you choose to do 15 rounds on the bike plus the tricep extension, let's just say it takes you 9 minutes, you're already at 25, 26 minutes with transitions. So you're only going to have a couple minutes in these incline curls. Those of you that do 10, 11, 12 rounds on the bike, you should have a little bit more flexibility. But the incline curls are fantastic. It keeps your elbows behind your back, which is like the best way to lengthen your biceps and really work on like the peak side of your bicep. If you don't know what the peak is when you guys flex from like the back side of your shoulder. Look up Arnold Schwarzenegger and his peak of his bicep. More of like the aesthetic side of a curl. Although these are still fantastic. Like incline curls are supinated. You're working every part of your bicep, but a little bit more of an emphasis with the positioning of your elbow. Following that, you guys are going to the TRX Superset. We haven't done this in a while. It's a perfect opportunity to do it. Like I said, the TRX is fantastic for when you're already pre-exhausted. You didn't do a ton of volume, but like your body's just tired, which it's going to be from this, that you can manipulate the effort or the perceived exertion or the toughness of the movement on the fly, which is where TRX's flexibility is so fantastic. So while you guys are doing these bicep curls and then immediately transitioning to the tricep extensions, you can on the fly be adjusting your feet closer to make it harder to the wall or further from the wall to make it easier with each passing rep. And if you've ever watched me do this or somebody that's been doing this for a long time, like my feet are constantly moving. Like it's nonstop. I am constantly adjusting my angle to get the most out of each rep based off of how tired I am. And as the set goes on, you get deeper into the set or sets, you just keep adjusting your feet further from the wall. So it's as isolated as possible and there's as little compensation as possible, yet I'm still putting as much pressure onto the muscle we're targeting as I can, which is, again, the beauty of the TRX in this specific circumstances. And this is why I like TRXs the most, is for situations just like these. Just a little cue here. I don't know when the 4th is. 4th is a Thursday. On the bicep curls, guys, you have to keep your arms level with your shoulders. So your arms have to come up level with your shoulders. I know you can't see on the camera, but if your hands are way below your shoulders, it's going to be hard to isolate your biceps. So you want to really elevate your arms without elevating your shoulders. So keep your traps relaxed, and then you bring your hands to your forehead, and you'll feel a way better contraction and kind of isolation on your biceps than you would if your hands and arms are much lower. So again, don't get stuck like rowing. You want to make it a full bicep curl. And then the dumbbell man makers, again, perfect opportunity to throw something in here. It's biceps, it's a lot of triceps, it's a great finisher. We're already tired. We're not going to do any specific stationary lifting. So let's just throw a complex movement in here where we're still working on a lot of the same muscles, and it kind of gets your heart rate back up from that starting position on the bike. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy this as much as I do. I don't know why this looks so appealing to me, but it does.